what have the questions been like? And I mean, when we did the podcast in May, Trump had not declared war on Los Angeles, right? And sent military, and now we're seeing, daily images of people being dragged off the streets by masked federal agents. So it's I imagine the feeling is very heavy there in California right now.
Oh, it's so bad. I haven't gone to the store for groceries since everything went down. It's almost been 2 weeks. I don't quite remember the exact number, but I haven't been able to go anywhere besides the events that we had. And even then, when I go to the events, I have like 3, 4 people on a call. People pick me up, like they don't let me drive. Everybody's so concerned about me. It's really, really bad. I have seen eyes a few times, and they have saw me a few times too. So it's just around the corner, and it's really difficult to access. To do anything seems like a such like a task.
Yeah, we just published a story this week by Pablo de la Rosa from South Texas, where people are not leaving their homes, and they're actually paying people with citizenship to go grocery shopping for them because they don't want to risk going outside and being swept up in these ice drag nets. So it's just uh you know, people feel like they're under siege.
Yeah. It, and I couldn't relate more to the sentiment. And also, what I feel people don't quite understand is, yeah, we're scared of ice, right? Like we can lose everything we have in a matter of minutes. But that's not only my fear. Now it's, why is nobody talking about the fact that anyone can come get you and say that it's ice? But how do we know that? How come this is like, how are people getting away with this? People are disappearing and nobody is talking about it enough. It's not only about getting deported. That it's not the only fear that we are facing right now. We are facing the fact that we can get disappear and nobody will know where we are. And just the fact that you can make one little mistake, which is perhaps like going outside your apartment to get a package, and you can just get kidnapped, because that's what it is.
Mhm.
This has nothing to do with immigration. And I think I I honestly don't know what the future holds with this. And I want to have hope. I want to believe that there are better days coming, but I feel like it will take some time for things to get better, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I agree with you that it's not really about immigration, and we've written about that for a long time at the Border Chronicle, that really immigration is a Trojan horse to consolidate authoritarian power for this administration. That's what it's really about. So yeah, it's a very, very scary time. But I want to talk about your wonderful book, which I really think every American should read right now because it's a very like frank and heartfelt description of what it's like to be undocumented in this country. And I'm hoping you can talk a little bit more about that. Like why did you decide to write this book basically? Because it's very personal. And what do you hope people will take from your book?
So I started, it's a little funny how this started, because what the book is now was pretty much an accident. I was working trying to get, I'm a filmmaker as well. And I've been for 7 years trying to sell my story and make it a TV series or a movie. And I had almost had a deal a couple of times, but it never worked out. So I always wanted to do something with my story, even though that for a person like me who is very private, I never wanted to go there, but I knew it was necessary because I have always wanted to do something for my community, which is the immigrant community. And I started working with and therefore, I think 5 years ago, and we started doing research and we started collaborating in different projects. And the book opportunity came before the TV series came. So I was really excited to work with Antero. Antero is wonderful, and he was one of the main people who started having those ideas. What if we do this book? And at that time, things were already bad for immigrants, right? And I have to say this, and I always say it: things have been bad for immigrants for very long time, right? And Tara and I used to have conversations all the time. Things are gonna get bad. Things are gonna get bad because how come nobody's talking about an immigration reform? Immigration is inevitable. It's gonna happen no matter what. But we're not doing anything to fix it and to to make it better. So things are gonna get bad. But when we started writing the book, there was that urgency that we had to do something, that people needed to we needed to change this narrative that the million people that everybody talks about, nobody has an idea about their stories. Nobody has an idea who these people are. We just became a number. And there I had so much frustration about that, and I was like, how can I change that? And that's how we started creating La Cuenta. And Antero is a genius. I feel like everything he all the ideas has have been really good for us and for our community. And the book the book idea came out accidentally, but when it came out and we started writing, things were not this bad. We knew things were gonna get bad, but we never anticipated that they would be what they are now. It's just, to me, even talking about this, I'm like, is this really happening? It's so hard for me to digest that people are getting away with the things that they're getting away. I never thought that the book was going to be so necessary, but at the same time, it's crazy because a few days before the book came out, that's when everything went down. So I believe that God has a purpose for everything, which is very unfortunate to say. And I guess that book uh, came out at a perfect timing, unfortunately, because this book shouldn't even exist to start with.
Yeah, no, and if you're just joining our conversation right now, this is about Alex Dick's new memoir, "The Cost of Being Undocumented," which is really excellent, and everybody should read. And we just did a podcast with Alex and Antero in May, and I wanted to do this live video with you after the book came out, just to see kind of what sort of reception you're getting, and not imagining that, Trump would declare war on Los Angeles and start, deploying troops. Although, I mean, I write about authoritarianism and the border and Trump, and so I guess I'm not entirely surprised, unfortunately. But it is completely surreal, like you said, still. And somebody watching just wrote, what can we do? How can we help? And one thing I would encourage you to do is to sign up for the La Cuenta Substack, because it elevates the perspectives of people who are living without status. And, there are educators on there. There are people from immigrant communities sharing knowledge and ways to sort of find balance and stay safe. And I'm wondering, Alex, have you received any good advice about how to basically stay sane during this very, very tough, dark time?
I feel, to me, what I've been telling myself, I feel like everybody has been so supportive and so lovely trying to take care of me. I sincerely feel like we don't have the right answers, but I what I would advise people is what I've been doing lately. Take it one day at a time. I Let's try to survive today and we'll figure it out tomorrow. I don't I don't see how I can think of my life 3 days from today. It
Mm.
is just so difficult to look at the future. It's so blurry. I don't even know how to explain it. But I think take it one day at a time. And then I've been telling people lately, I know that we are really scared and it's a really hard time for our community, but showing up for people matter.
Mhm.
And I think that's the reason I'm surviving because I have so much love. It's so sad that we're having this conversation, but if you ever wanted to find a moment to take care of your neighbor, it's this time. There hasn't been a better time for it. And even if it's a call, even if it's a message, people need that. And that's a great way to start, right? There is so much need right now because I feel that people who have businesses, street vendors, people who sell tamales or who sell paletas or flowers, everybody is out of business right now. And it concerns me to think, how are these people eating, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's community and it's mutual aid, right? I mean, it really we have to just rely on each other, because unfortunately the elected officials have really, really failed us. So it really comes
That
down to community, right, and individuals and,
which
um
yeah, and honestly, I people ask me that in one of the events, how am I finding hope? And to be honest, there is so much suffering all around me, and I'm so concerned about people. Not only myself, I'm concerned about people, but I also been finding a little bit of hope, seeing how people are waking up to the fact that the government is not going to take care of us. And if we
Mhm,
don't learn to rely on each other, if we don't learn how to make our community a stronger foundation for when we need each other, we're not going to make it through. And seeing that people are in the streets protesting and marching to defend me, to because they believe in my right to not survive, but to have a to have dignity and the right to have human rights. That
mhm.
gives me a little bit of hope and that gets me through days like this one. And I feel that if we continue to show up for each other, we are going to find some light. It's going to take a while and it's going to take a lot of fight, but we will.
Right, right, and for people just joining the live video, Alex came here, seeking political asylum, fleeing violence in Sinaloa, Mexico, several years ago, um, and has this new memoir out, which I'll show the cover
Yay!
one. Yes, The Cost of Being Undocumented. And Alex, what do you hope people take from this book? What message do you hope, readers get from your book, from your memoir?
I hope that people find this is very difficult for everyone, difficult times. I hope that this book brings light and brings encouragement for people to get to know the stories of immigrants better and to
Mhm.
understand that what happened to me can happen to anyone. And sometimes we criticize people thinking that we're gonna make if you tragedy hits us, we're gonna make better decisions. And that's probably not true. And and I would love for people to take that to whenever whenever they see themselves in the mirror to remember that there is people going through a lot and that that could be them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I wanna thank you, Alex, for joining us, and I wanna encourage everybody to buy Alex's memoir, and we'll have a link to that, at the Border Chronicle. This will be in our Friday roundup tomorrow, this video, and with a link to Alex's, excellent, well-written memoir and to the podcast for May as well, if you all wanna hear more about how Alex and Antero met and the whole thing, and I really, really wish you a lot of luck in the promotion of this book, and I really hope everybody will read it because I think we now more than ever need to hear the voices of people who are being persecuted by this administration. It's very important. and all we have is each other. So, yeah, thank you, Alex.
Thank
Have a wonderful evening.
thank you. I love you guys. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.